So we're going to get to the substantive part of the day today. I just want to emphasize and clarify the focus of our event. So this event today is not about justifying a gradual reduction in restrictive practices. Instead, we're focusing on what evidence and strategies we already have, and then what more is needed to accelerate their complete elimination. The event reflects the NDRP's commitment in building partnerships across a wide range of sectors, bringing together people with disability, bringing together researchers, service providers, and government agencies to co-create the evidence that we need for meaningful change. Our mission at the NDRP is to develop collaborative and inclusive research that informs policies and practice aligned with human rights, ensuring that the elimination of restrictive practices becomes a shared goal and not an isolated ambition. Partnerships built through events like this are actually essential in turning that research into actionable outcomes. So I'm very pleased now to introduce everyone to the wonderful Jane Britt. She is a leading disabled consultant and our facilitator for today. Jane has a huge wealth of experience that would take most of the day to go through, and some great expertise, and will ensure today's discussions are engaging, respectful, and productive. Now, I'm going to hand over to you, Jane, and I hope everybody enjoys the rest of the session. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Claire, and for your very warm welcome there. I'm really honoured to be facilitating this first Evidence to Action event hosted by the National Disability Research Partnership. Thank you, Minister Rishworth, and to Alastair McEwin also for setting the scene for today's discussions. My pronouns are she, her. I am joining you from the lands of the Yagara and Turrbal people. And just a bit of a description of me. I'm a white woman. I have long blonde hair. I wish I had put in Christmas earrings as well, like Claire did, but I do have little pearls in and a checked shirt. I'm a deafblind woman. So as Claire mentioned, this event is an opportunity to explore the evidence we need to eliminate restrictive practices and highlight the essential role of collaboration across sectors. It's also a platform where the voices and experiences of people with disability are front and centre, helping us shape future policy and practice. As part of the NDRP's commitment to role modelling best practices in accessibility and inclusion, the NDRP is working to embed accessible ways of working in everything they do, so including events like this. So Auslan interpretation is available throughout this event. So if you need to pin the Auslan interpreter's video, you can do so by right-clicking or selecting the interpreter's window and choosing pin. Live captions are provided and the link has been posted by the NDRP team. And as there is a large number of attendees for this event, we have turned off the chat function to ensure accessibility of the event. It also helps people using screen readers, as screen readers read out all of the chat messages, which can be hard to follow. This way, everyone can have a better and more accessible experience. You're welcome to use the Q&A function for any questions you have. You'll find this at the bottom of your screen. Feel free to submit feedback, comments, and questions as they come up, and we will address as many during the moderated Q&A session later in the event. If you encounter any technical difficulties or have other access needs, please reach out to our event support team, who will post contact details. I just want to highlight one important aspect of today's event before we get things rolling, which is managing our time and transitions for the Auslan interpreters. So we'll need to pause or briefly interrupt speakers to allow the interpreters to switch, and I will certainly be keeping speakers to their allotted time. If the interpreters don't get time to transition, some participants may miss out on key information and discussions. So thank you very much for your understanding and patience as we work to make this event accessible for everyone. I'll be guiding us through each section And if there's any changes or announcements during the event, I'll let you know. So the plan for today is to have a first session that will build on the findings from the Disability Royal Commission and provide insights into the impact of restrictive practices on individuals and communities. We'll hear from speakers who have worked closely on this issue to uncover the lifelong harm caused by these practices. After a break, we'll have a second session which will explore the types of evidence and strategies needed to reduce and eliminate restrictive practices. We will hear from senior officials and CEOs and conclude with a moderated Q&A, where you can ask questions and engage with the panel. After the break, our final session will focus on disability-led research and the importance of better using existing evidence. We'll look at what evidence is needed and future insights from advocates and others closely involved with how the next steps might be taken and the role of research in filling evidence gaps and driving policy change. Today's discussions will address sensitive topics, including trauma, restrictive practices, and the impact of these practices on individuals and families. These conversations may be difficult, or the content may be very difficult for some participants. Please take care of yourselves, and if you need to step away throughout the event, feel free to step away and rejoin at any time. A list of support services will be shared by our event team, and we encourage you to reach out if you need assistance or support during or after this event. We want to ensure this is a safe and respectful space for everyone. We encourage you to engage fully, listen with empathy, and contribute to the conversation. So before we dive into this conversation, I really want to acknowledge something important. The term eliminating restrictive practices is based on human rights principles and might not be familiar or clear to everyone. Restrictive practices are actions that take away a person's freedom or ability to make their own choices. This can include things like physically restraining someone or preventing them from making their own decisions.